Hey everyone, it's Lesley Langdon with Shimmerz Paints TV, and today we're going to be taking ordinary watercolor paper and die cutting some flowers and spritzing it with some beautiful Shimmerz products, and then applying the new enamels, Sparkliscious. And we get a beautiful layered flower, and you know, you can use these flowers for embellishing, you know, tins like I did today, but here's the flower preview. Yeah, so stay with me and let's begin. Okay, to get started, what I've done is I've gone ahead and die cut these Grand Peony dies. They're from Spellbinders, and I've embossed them as well, and this is watercolor paper. So I'm going to go ahead and take all those flowers out. I'm just going to set them down on my cardboard here. This is a Frosted Flakes cereal box. They're great to use, and then you can still recycle them. Okay, so there's lots of pieces to this flower, so it's going to give us a lot of great dimension. Okay, so here we have all our flower pieces. I'm going to go ahead and give each of them a squirt of Eucalyptus Spritz, kind of closer to the center. Okay, and then I'm going to go around the edges with this Mon Shari. Oops. Okay, so those will just let them dry. And they'll kind of bleed together, those colors. So the watercolor is a perfect kind of paper to use for these, the spritzes and the colorings, because it's just meant to absorb lots of water. So let's just see how these dry, and then we're going to put them together and then use some Enamelz Sparkliscious on them. Alright, so I've just used my heat gun to really speed up the process of drying these flowers. Now we're going to go ahead and apply some Shimmerz Enamelz, and I'm going to use Sparkliscious because essentially what it is, it's a clear embossing powder with some shimmer in it, and like really, really great sparkle. So this is going to bring these flowers to life. Okay, so I'm going to get my VersaMark pad. Okay, so I'm going to want to apply, really, just the outsides are going to be showing, so I'm just going to make sure I get the outsides to get the sparkle on them. Okay? Because when this is all layered up, you're only going to see really the outer edges. So let's do the first one. I'll do it with you, and then I'll do the others on my own. So just apply the Sparkliscious to wherever you applied your VersaMark ink. Just shake it off, and then set this aside elsewhere. Okay, so take your heat gun and just come down on it. And the color is going to be really vibrant where you applied the enamels. You also have a short window of time to manipulate the enamels. So if you want to do any bending, now is the time to do it before it completely sets. So bend your flower pieces, okay? This is going to be your base, and then for each subsequent layer, also do the bending, okay? So the next layer is going to be this one. So I'll probably wanting to continue bending up the leaves, okay? So I'm going to continue and do that on my own, and then I'll come back to assemble the flower with you. Okay, so the flowers have been treated with the coat of Shimmerz Eucalyptus Spritz for the centers, and then Mon Shari Coloringz for the edges, and then I went ahead and applied some Enamelz Sparkliscious. Okay, so now it's time to assemble the flower. Okay, this is a peony. So just look for, when you assemble it, just look at the best way that it comes together. Okay, and it has the hole in the middle so you can apply a brad through it. So this is a really heavy-duty flower. Not sure if you can see that. What I did is I found a brad that was made out of fabric, and this is from 7 Gypsies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz it with the same colors that we used for the flower. So Mon Shari Coloringz and Eucalyptus Spritz. Okay, I'm going to let that dry. In fact, I'm going to dry it with the heat gun. Okay, so now it'll match our flower perfectly, okay? I'm not going to put enamels on it because I want it to be a little different in texture contrast. So I'm going to leave it as fabric. So you can go ahead and put your flower together with the brad, or you can put a button in the middle, whatever you have at home that works. Okay, so, and then just set your brad up here. Okay. All right, so there you go. And you can try and manipulate these, you know, pieces a little bit, but they are stiff now because the enamels has been on them. But this is just like a great way to dress up this flower, and there's so many uses for it. You can use it for a hairpiece, for a headband, a gift topper, a layout, and it is quite big, so you want to make sure that, you know, this is the showstopper because you put a lot of work into it, you know. Okay, as I was just looking at how I would use this flower and the colors that I chose, I found this Prima flower container, and this is from a while back when I first started scrapbooking. But just to give you an idea, if you have tins like this, and you usually, you know, keep flowers and trinkets in them, you can dress up these tins, you know, just putting that flower right on top. It looks so pretty. And you know, you could decorate this with some trim around here, which I probably will do, and some other stuff. So why don't I do that? I'll dress this tin up for you just to give you an idea of how to use some flower like this. And, you know, maybe one day if you have some time, you can try it. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.